The next day, the Woodland, the secret city hall of the underground community known to its members as Fabletown.
Frog went a-courtin', he did right. Uh-huh. Good morning, Miss White. Grand day, isn't it?
Lovely.
And in the Woodland's smallest studio apartment.
Get up. It's morning. I need to go to work, and you need to get out.
Leave me alone, Bigby. I'm still sleeping. I got in late last night.
Today's truck upstate to the farm leaves in an hour, and you're gonna be on it. You can't keep sneaking into the city to crash on my couch.
Why not? You still owe me big time for destroying my house.
Ancient history. And all I did was scatter a few bales of straw.
After which you try to make supper out of me. Let's not forget that minor detail.
So, how does that translate into? I have to put you up every time you escape from the farm.
Because, by staying here, I'm a living symbol of your lasting redemption. Who can continue to doubt you've reformed after one of your old enemies, a succulent piggy, survived sleeping in your apartment? I hate it up on the farm, Biggs. I'm a sophisticated pig, and belong in the city.
Nevertheless, if you leave the farm again, I'm turning you in, officially. You want some breakfast before I kick you out?
What are you having?
Ham and eggs.
I take it all back. You're still a monster, through and through.
In Midtown Manhattan, the apartment of Miss Molly Greenbaum, whom we met albeit briefly last issue.
In Dublin's fair city, where girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone.
The Woodlands garden an hour later.
I thought I'd find you out here.
I like to come here to think, which I do best when left alone.
I won't take up too much of your time, but I have a few questions about the state of our investigation. First, did Jack really do it?
Probably not. But any excuse to hold him in custody while I check out a few things. So he's officially guilty for a day or two. And for the record, this isn't our investigation. It's my investigation.
So, what actual conclusions did you come to?
Not many. The blood is your sister's.
How can you be sure?
You can't fool this nose. We can have it lab tested if you like, but there's zero chance it isn't her blood.
So, she really was the victim of violence?
It looks that way.
If not Jack, whom do you suspect? She partied with Mundies. Do you think one of them might have?
A Mundy wouldn't have known to leave that particular message on her wall. Not unless Rose had revealed her fateful nature to one of them. But as nonconformist as she is, I don't think even she would break that rule. Whoever did this is one of us. A Fable.
Then, my money says Jack did it.
I always like suspecting Jack. He's been a perpetual load in my pants since day one of the Exile. But I have no choice other than to go where the evidence leads. Of course, that won't keep me from questioning him today.
I want to be with you when you question him.
I suspected as much. Are you going to inject yourself into every facet of my investigation? Don't you have a government to run?
Rose is my sister.
And yet you've been estranged from each other for years. There's been little love lost between the two of you.
If you think that, maybe you should add me to your suspect list.
I already have.
Is that supposed to be some kind of joke?
No, ma'am. I never had much of a sense of humor. We can get your interview out of the way now, if you like.
I can't just now. My ex just called and insisted I meet him for a late breakfast at the Eggman. I'm going over there now.
I had your wallet first.
Elsewhere.
If you're going to advance, advance like you mean it. You aren't back in your glass slippers, waltzing at a dress ball. A modicum of grace is important, but you get no points for delicacy here, princess.
Mr. Bluebeard, if you're going to insist on calling me princess, please don't do it in that tone of voice. You make it sound like I'm a fucking synonym for, I don't know, a turd sandwich.
When did you get such a potty mouth? Did you talk like that back in the homelands? Is that why your handsome prince divorced you?
Could be.
Good lunge, but you let your point drift off target.
I didn't want to risk skewering you.
Then you're wasting my time and yours. In Fable Town, we fence with real blades because we're training for real battles. Your husband fancied himself a deft hand with a blade. It's a wonder he didn't pass along any useful skills before he set you aside. On guard position, princess. My turn to attack now.
Are you purposely trying to be so boorish? Is this some cryptic aspect of your teaching style?
Could be. Did you know Prince Charming's back in town?
Old news. Everyone knows he's scamming free eggs off wife number 1, even as we speak. The real news is, what happened to Rose Red? Did you hear about it?
No, what?
She's dead. Carved up like a Christmas turkey. And rumor has it that creepy boyfriend of hers did the dirty deed.
Jack?
Yeah, I think that's him. I heard he was dancing naked in bits of her skin when they caught him. Ow! What the fuck? I'm bleeding, you shit. Why'd you do that?
Because this is serious business, and you weren't paying attention. Think about that before your next lesson.
Thank you for coming on such short notice.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I'm dying to find out how you burned your last bridges with every royal in Europe, and who you're sponging off these days.
It's comforting to discover your voice hasn't lost any of its venom over the years, lovely.
Why don't you tell me what you want, so I can get back to work? Unlike you, I have responsibilities.
Yes, I heard that you were running the entire show over here now, and that's what I want to talk to you about.
Forget it. I'm not about to use my office to get you out of trouble, or help you cheat some unsuspecting Fable out of her fortune.
No need. I've thought of a way to replenish my lost fortune without cheating anyone.
Do tell.
I've decided to auction off my royal title, plus my lands, estates, the entire principality. I'm going to put the whole package up for sale on one of those internet sites. All I need you to do is spread the word among the Fable community. Concentrating on the rich ones, of course.
You've gone dotty, sweetheart. Why would anyone pay good money to buy lands that have fallen under the adversary's dominion, or a royal title that has no authority in this world?
That's the beauty of my plan, Snow. What are we, less than 2 weeks from our annual Remembrance Day celebration? This is the one time of the year where everyone gets nostalgic for the homelands and starts believing we actually have a chance of winning them back someday. If we act fast, someone will buy everything I have to sell, just on the off chance that we do get to go home again.
Possibly so, but what makes you think I'd do anything to help you? Don't you remember why I divorced you? You slept with my sister.
The mink seduced me!
I'm leaving now, before I scream. Crawl back into the bed of whatever Monday whore you're currently shacking up with and leave me alone. By the way, the minx in question has gone missing under frightening circumstances. It's just occurred to me that you belong on the list of suspects. And Bigby will want to question you about that later.
This shouldn't take long, Jack.
Take all the time you need. I want to do everything I can to help you find out what happened to Rosie and convince you I'm not the one who hurt her. I'm so worried. My God, there was so much blood. Too much. I'm afraid she may be...
It won't help to start thinking that way yet, Jack. Relatively small amounts of blood, spread around, can go a long way. Until we test it forensically, We can't know for sure how much of Rose Red's blood was spilled in her apartment. I've already arranged for those tests later, but until then, we should assume we're looking for a living woman.
Okay. Whatever you say, you're the sheriff.
You've been romantically involved with Rose for how long?
Almost 4 years now.
But not 4 years straight.
Excuse me?
Just about a year ago, you and Rose had a very public falling out. There were fights, lots of screaming. It nearly got to the point where I would have had to intervene. In fact, if I recall correctly, she attended last year's Remembrance Day with someone else. Who was that again?
Bluebeard. But she only dated him to make me jealous. He's the one you should question. You know his reputation with women. Maybe he got mad when she left him to come back to me.
We'll get around to him. But let's finish up with you for now. You keep an apartment here in the building, right?
Right.
But you have your own key to Rose's place, and you stay over with her most nights.
Yeah, usually, but not every night.
Why not the night before last?
I'm not sure. I was out late with some friends, and I guess I didn't want to wake her, so I crashed at my place.
Funny. But Grimble doesn't remember you coming in. Late, or otherwise.
Cripple was asleep behind the security desk, like always.
You'd be surprised how much registers with him, even when he's sawing logs. You're always trying to beat the system, Jack. There was a time you tried to steal Numblin's 7-leg boots to win the New York Marathon.
The Boston Marathon. At least I tried to do it out of state to divert attention away from Fabletown. I know how to keep things secret for Mondays. I don't run with those fanatics who think we should all come out of the closet.
And what about the time you tried to raffle off the map to your remaining magic beans?
What law did that break? I have the right to make money off my own property.
Except the map was a fake and you lost the beans centuries ago. If you ever had them at all.
Big deal, so I try to play a good-natured gag now and then. So what? I'm a trickster by nature, but I'm not violent.
Not lately. But you did go through that remarkably bloody giant-killing phase way back when.
All of which happened before the general amnesty, which means it can't be brought up again.
He's right, Bigby.
Or does that protection only apply to granny goblin wolves who don shepherd's clothing to become low-rent cops during the Exile?
Watch your smart mouth, sonny boy.
Stop it, both of you! You're acting like this is some private game, but you're avoiding the one question that I need answered. Jack, is my sister dead? Did you kill her? Did you put her body somewhere?
No, of course not. I promise.
So you don't mind if I take a look inside your apartment? Oh, wait. You live here. In the building. So I don't need your permission. I'll keep you here for now while I check out your place.
Sure, why not? I got nothing to hide.
Can you think of anyone who might want to hurt Rose?
Bluebeard's the only one that comes to mind. Maybe he'll revert back to his old ways. You know what he used to do with his wives, right?
Those are pre-amnesty deeds, Jack, remember? You can't bring that up.
I apologize for the waterworks in there. That wasn't very professional of me.
Nothing to apologize for. I expected it to happen sooner.
Before now, I just felt, I don't know, numb. Like this wasn't really happening. But I'm not a delicate flower, Mr. Wolf. I can take bad news. If you've determined that my sister's dead, I want you to level with me.
I will. If it becomes necessary. I promise. But so far, that isn't the case. Feel better now?
6:45, Miss White.
Not better, but back under control at least. Indulging my one vice here helps. Chocolate cures all else.
Why don't you let me handle things from now on?
Not a chance. I've had my one loss of composure. You won't have to worry about further emotional fits from me.
Don't beat up on yourself so much, Snow. Sometimes pitching a fit is just the right way to interrogate a suspect.
Who do we see next?
I think we'll take Jack's advice and go see the reclusive Mr. Bluebeard. He still lives in the building, right?
Since it was built. Do you want one of these?
I don't eat sweets. I had heard Bluebeard was well off. So what's he doing down on the 4th floor? Why don't he take one of the bigger apartments higher up?
You'll see.
Yes.
We called ahead. Your boss is expecting us.
Very well. Come in. Follow me, please.
No, I get it now. He's got himself another one of those magical big spaces within a smaller space, like your office. How'd he pull this off?
He was one of the fortunate few to get out of the homelands with his riches.
And his whole bloody castle, too.
Rumor has it that he ran his own underground railroad and smuggled other fables out of the homelands, even after the adversary's armies had moved in. But he charged a dear price for his services.
So many of our fellow exiles' lost fortunes fell into his hands rather than the adversary.
So I'm told, but we'll never know for sure, because that was pre-amnesty business. He had to pay the wizardly types big to fit an entire castle inside a small apartment. They don't work cheap.
Your guest, sir.
Thank you for agreeing to see us, Mr. Bluebeard. We won't take up much of your time.
Not to worry. Sit down, make yourselves at home. I assume you're here to collect my annual contribution towards the support of our government? I usually give it directly to King Cole at the Remembrance Day gathering, but if you need it early this year...
That's not why we're here. Take a look at these photos. They were taken in Rose Red's apartment last night. And all that blood is hers.
Oh dear.
All we need to know is why you killed her.
What? How dare you!
Wolf!
How dare I what? Speak rudely to a mass murderer. And that's what you do, right? You marry them, and then gut them.
Mr. Wolf, that's enough.
You are an impertinent man, and I demand satisfaction.
Fuck your satisfaction. I think you killed her, and I'm ready to arrest you for it now. Convenient trial, Snow. I'm charging this pompous asswipe with Rose Red's murder. He isn't cooperating. He's refused to answer a single question.
You haven't asked any. I'm willing to cooperate.
Then quit your fucking disassembling and answer. Did you kill her?
No!
Did you harm her in any way?
No, never.
Where were you the night before last?
Here. All day. And all night. I seldom go out.
A year ago you were socially buddy-buddy with Rose. Were you two romantically involved, or was she just a trophy date for public occasions?
Romantically.
And you got mad when she dumped you to slide her way back to her old boyfriend.
No, because she never dumped me, to use your own crude vernacular. We're still together, though we've learned to be discreet about our relationship. A year ago, at the Remembrance Day Gala, Rose Red and I became engaged. For reasons all her own, she insisted on keeping our engagement secret for 1 calendar year, a condition to which I agreed.
Well, ain't that a big cake in the pantaloons? Is he telling the truth?
I don't know.
Of course I'm telling the truth. I'm no liar, and in this case I can prove it.
How?
Because we formalized our engagement in writing. I assume you can verify her signature?
You made my sister sign a contract promising to marry you?
Only because there was a payment involved. A year ago I paid her a considerable dowry. If such a term also applies to a payment made by the prospective groom to the prospective bride. Rose Red was, and remains, my fiancée. If she has truly fallen victim to some violent act, I'm personally devastated, and will be revenged. But for the moment, I'm offering a reward of $1 million for the discovery and capture of whoever perpetrated this foul deed.